Do cybersecurity certifications guarantee job readiness or real-world environments?
Not really. Certifications are great if they have good content backing it.
Yep.
Right? Because when I do interviews, I see a lot of certifications on their profile. But as I again told you,
Yep.
our interview is like we give them a challenge, a real world challenge, and then we will ask them to solve it. It's a practical challenge, not a theoretical challenge. So even I see that there are a lot of certification on their profile.
Yeah.
They are not able to solve anything. Not anything, like they don't know the how to approach it.
Yeah.
Though I will also say that even if they have some experience,
Yeah.
I have seen that I have seen them struggling on our challenges. Though our challenges are not that hard,
Yeah.
if they know the core principles of cybersecurity or like the attacks, if they are applying for a web application, they should know how SQL injection or cross-site scripting
yeah.
works, how IDOR, what is IDOR,
Yeah.
and not only the theory, but again how
is it working?
how it works.
Exactly.
So I think Tarek, you have a funny story that in one of our interviews that that LFI vulnerability that you asked someone.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened in that was that I was interviewing what do you say, a person. So he was actually, he had certificates as well as he had 3 years of work experience in the cybersecurity field. So we were taking the interview challenge. I was taking the interview challenge, and I just there was basically a spoiler. So there was a vulnerability that was related to directed traversal. We are going to change it now because I have told it in the podcast. So if anyone's going to the next interview, you are not going to find directed traversal. Anyways, so what happened is that I gave him some. He was not able to figure out the challenge. So I told him, hey, you do some research and get it done, and you let us know. So I gave him about 5-10 minutes. It was just ongoing, okay? And then what happened is that after some 10 or 15 minutes of time, I asked him, hey, you read about directed traversal, right? So what is it actually about? Can you tell me? So the guy goes like ... I again asked him, what is the vulnerability about? He said ... again. So these are certain misconceptions. Again, I don't want to mock anyone. It's completely fine. But as Sashi said rightly in the start of the podcast, you should know your basics and you should know what commands you're running on a infrastructure.
Again, another thing about certification that why we see a lot of this certification on their profile, maybe because of the cheating that is happening.
Yeah.
That's why I think whenever we are hiring someone, don't just look at the certifications.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what we also analyze when we are interviewing, that we look at the methodology. We are not at all interested in how many challenges you have done or how you have compromised something, but we are looking at the methodology. So by looking at the methodology, we know that this person knows what he's trying to do.
Yep.
And he's a best fit for our Redfox security company.
Exactly.
Again, I believe that there are big firms that hire people.
Exactly.
And they tell them that they are the security person there, but they are not really giving them the correct sort of engagements. Or they are not training them.
Yeah.
Or they are just giving them work which is not comes into cybersecurity, but it's just how would I say, a side kind of project. Maybe they are hiring for cybersecurity, but they are putting them on SOC.
Okay.
Though when they are when they are putting out a resume, they say that, hey, I need someone who can who has some information on web applications, who has some knowledge on network pen testing. But after hiring, they are putting themselves on the maybe SOC role.
Yeah, that's like that's like putting a VAPT guy into SOC.
Yeah, so they on their resume it says cybersecurity consultant, but we don't know on which technologies they have worked.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the another thing.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah, great. That's great, really. So moving on to the next question. Are cybersecurity solutions affordable for small business, or is it mainly for large enterprises?
See, cybersecurity solutions are costly. So that's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But let's say there is a small firm, they can also secure themselves.
Yeah.
So instead of, let's suppose they have, they don't have the budget for conducting a full external, internal, maybe their websites. They don't have the budget to perform all kinds of penetration tests.
Yeah.
So what they can do, they can opt for breach simulations,
Okay.
where we are simulating an attacker that is already inside the network, that already breached their applications and they are on their network. And we can just tell, hey, these are the things that you can secure in the internal network, so that even if an attacker comes from outside and they gain access to a computer, they can't really do anything from that computer.
Yeah.
Right? So if they are short on budget, at least they can go out for these breach simulations.
Yep. Exactly.
So they should focus on the core part or on the core part of their company that needs to be secure.
Yep.
So
Again, I really like
depends on the budget.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that even if it's a small company or a large company, at Redfox Security, we really like the thought that you are thinking about securing your environment, and that is something that we really bank on, because a lot of things are being digitalized. You must be aware of whatever things are happening, and that is why I feel the thought that you are considering getting network pen test or your infrastructure tested is something that is really credible.
That's a great start to have.
Exactly. So moving on to the next question, how effective is cybersecurity training for employees in corporates?
Yeah, that's the area that I feel that the training can really help them to cover the basics. So let's suppose there is a company, and if they can just tell their security, like say they have security guard, they can just tell them, don't let anyone enter their company premises. Do a proper screening before letting them enter their premises.
Exactly.
So these kind of trainings does help.
Yep.
Or let me take another example. We can train employees that don't save your passwords on your computer.
Again.
That's another thing. If we can just make aware them about these small things.
Yeah.
So that's how they can start off with the securing their basic stuff.
True.
Right. So that's why I think cybersecurity education is must for every company.
Exactly.
Because if they are not training their folks, then they are going to put some passwords.
Yep.
Right. I have seen even domain admins putting their password on computers in clear text.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to educate, or the company needs to educate. They should have a cybersecurity program that will prepare their employees about the cybersecurity attacks. Like if we take example of phishing attacks, they should not, any employee should not click on the link that is unwanted or that they are in doubt.
Exactly.